Hello kids, welcome to ICSE Chemistry Hub. Today we are going to start with Chapter 6 of Grade 10, which is Metallurgy. Please go back to my previous videos if you want to have a detailed look on electrolysis chapter. Also do please like, share and comment. Also do subscribe to my channel. Your subscription means a lot to us, dear children. So we are going to start with metallurgy today, and this would be my first lecture on this topic. So we'll be starting with the topic metallurgy. So let us understand what this term means. Now whenever we speak about metallurgy, metallurgy deals with two things. First, it deals with extraction of metals. Now, what is the meaning of the word extraction? Extraction means most of the metals that you get are found in the Earth's crust. So, when you take out this metal from the Earth's crust, it is called as extraction. So, what is metallurgy, children? It is a two-step process. It is a large-scale process. And what is the first step involved in metallurgy? The first step involved in metallurgy is extraction, followed by the second step, which is purification. So metallurgy basically deals with two things, that is extraction. Now what is extraction? As I told you, when you're taking out the metal from the Earth's crust, that's called as extraction. It can either be in the free state or it has to be in the combined state. So first you have to extract out the metal, and step number 2 you have to do is purification of metal. So I hope the definition of metallurgy is clear to you. It is a large scale process that involves a two thing, that is, the first thing is extraction and the second step is purification of metal. And whenever you are extracting out the metal, you always do it from the ore. Now what an ore is, we will learn it in the next slide. So it is an extraction and purification of the metal. And whenever you are planning to take out a metal from the Earth's surface, you always prefer taking it out from the ores. This process is called as metallurgy. Now, whenever scientists go to do metallurgy, or whenever they want to extract out a metal from the Earth's crust, they need to know two words here. One is a mineral and the second one is called as a ore. Okay, now this difference is many times asked even in the board exam. So please understand the definition very, very clearly. Minerals are the natural compounds that are found in the nature. Clear? So once again, what is a mineral, children? Minerals are the natural compounds that are found in the earth crust, which has got the metal in it. But along with the metal, they also have the earthly impurities present in it. Okay, so look at the definition. The natural materials, or we can replace the word material with compounds. Okay, so these are the natural compounds that are found in the earth's crust, which has the metal. Now, along with the metal, there are certain compounds that are found in earth, which are called as impurities. So we can say mineral is a combination of two things. Mineral, understand it in short, is equal to the metallic compound, or in other words, the compound that has my metal, plus it has got the earthly impurities. So these together constitute a mineral. So once again, go ahead with the definition, children. A mineral is the natural compound in which the metal is present, but along with the metal, what is present in it? I will have my earthly impurities that will be present in it. Okay. So mineral, then the next difference that we are going to learn is ore. Okay. For example, say if I want to extract the metal zinc. Now zinc can have various minerals. For example, it can have zinc carbonate, it can have zinc nitrate, and it has, say, zinc sulfide. Clear? All these are the minerals of zinc metal. Why am I saying these are the minerals of zinc metal? because these are the compounds. Can you see here? Zinc carbonate is a compound. Zinc nitrate is a compound. Zinc sulfide is a compound in which I have my metal. Which metal here am I talking about? I am talking about zinc metal. But along with this metallic compounds, I also have earthly impurities present in it. So all these three are called as minerals. Clear? Now, when can a mineral turn into an ore? What is the definition for the word ore? The minerals. So, all ores are nothing but they are minerals from which the metal can be extracted in two ways: profitably, conveniently, and quickly. What are the 3 points that you have to remember, children? When does a mineral turn into an ore? A mineral turns into an ore whenever that mineral from which the metal can be taken out in three ways. Profitably. What is the meaning of the word profitably? That means using less amount of money. Conveniently means easily and with less amount of time. When these three criteria are fulfilled, it becomes an ore. Okay, for example, let's say we were talking about zinc metal extraction, which is my first mineral, which is my first metallic compound here, zinc carbonate. Say it takes 48 hours to extract zinc metal, to pull out zinc metal, and it cost me 50,000 rupees. Okay, this is the cost of extraction. Which was the second mineral that we discussed? We took zinc nitrate. Say it takes 24 hours and it takes me 40,000 rupees to extract this metal. The third one is zinc sulfide. Zinc sulfide, I can remove zinc metal in 2 hours and 3,000 rupees. Okay, so which amongst this will be eligible to become an ore? Okay, so an ore is nothing but a mineral from which the metal can be extracted in three ways. Can you see, as compared to all the times, this is happening more quickly, it is more cheaper for me, that means it is profitable for me, and this process is happening very, very quickly. So among all these minerals, among zinc carbonate, zinc nitrate, zinc sulfide, which one of this becomes an ore for me, children? It is zinc sulfide. Why am I saying zinc sulfide is the mineral that is becoming an ore here? I am telling this because from this I can extract out the zinc metal very, very profitably. That means with less amount of money, very, very quickly and very, very conveniently. So I hope the difference between mineral and ore is clear to you. What are minerals, children? Minerals are the metallic compounds in which I have my metal. But along with the metal, they also have some earthly impurities. Clear? When can an ore turn into a mineral? A mineral can turn into an ore. A mineral becomes an ore whenever the metal can be extracted, whenever the metal can be taken out profitably, quickly, and very, very easily. Now, please remember this sentence. All ores are minerals, but all minerals cannot become ore. For example, I gave you the example of zinc. Zinc carbonate is a mineral. Zinc nitrate is a mineral again. Zinc sulfide is a... So, all minerals, these all three are minerals because they have my metal along with the earthly impurities. But all minerals cannot become ore. But all ores are definitely mineral. When can a mineral become an ore, children? Whenever the metal can be taken out profitably, one, and very, very easily. So remember this, all ores are nothing but they are minerals, but all minerals do not have the capability to become an ore. Now the third word that we have to remember is matrix. Any impurity that I have in my metal will be called as a matrix. So look at the definition here. The rocky impurities, it can be sand, it can be rocks, it can be mud, all these impurities. What is the technical term that you will be giving these impurities, children? we will be calling them as matrix. Clear? So what is a matrix? Any impurity that you find in your ore. For example, if this is my metal, okay, with the metal, whatever impurity I have, I will be calling it as the matrix. Clear? The next word is flux. What is flux? Any substance which I am adding into the ore. Any substance which I add into the ore so that I can get rid of the matrix. Now, what is matrix, children? Matrix is nothing but the impurity. Okay? So, what is flux, children? Any substance, X, Y, Z substance, which I add into my ore so as to clear the impurity. What is a technical word for impurity? The word for impurity is matrix. Then it results in the formation of a fusible compound or a melted compound which is called as slag. Clear? So what is slag? Slag is nothing but when into my matrix I am adding some flux. Now what is flux? Any substance which is used to remove the impurity. That time I will get a fusible compound which is called as a slag. Clear? So I hope the words are clear to you. Okay, the three words are matrix. What are matrix? Matrix is nothing but the impurities are called as matrix. It can be rock, it can be sand, it can be mud, it can be anything. What is the second word? The second word is flux. What is flux? Any substance which I add into my impurity in order so that I will be able to remove the impurity, it is called as flux. Now when matrix, that is the impurity, mixes with the substance that I have added to remove the impurity, that is the impurity plus the substance that I have added to get rid of the matrix, they form a fusible substance, and this fusible substance is called as a slag. Now we are moving on to the general steps whenever I get a metal from the earth's crust. For example, say this time I have got iron from the earth's crust. Okay, there are various steps that I need to follow so that I get my pure iron in my hand. Okay, so what is the topic, children? It is the various steps that are involved in the extraction of metals. Clear? What is step number 1? Whenever I get an ore. Clear? This is where I will be extracting my metal from. Ore is nothing but these are the minerals that are found in the earth's crust from which my metal can be extracted out very, very profitably and easily. Clear? So whenever I get an ore, say it is of any metal X, Y, Z. Step number 1 that I follow is I need to crush the ore. Crushing of the ore, there is a technical term that is given to it. We call that word as pulverization. Okay. So whenever I get an ore, children, what is the first thing I need to do? It is passed through big rollers. What will these rollers do? It will crush the ore. It will powder the ore into a thin powder. What is the technical term given for crushing of the ore? As you have seen, ore are nothing but huge pieces of rock. So when I crush them, when I powder them into a fine powder, the technical term for it is called as pulverization. Clear? Coming to step 2. Step 2 is called as dressing of the ore, or it is called as the concentration of the ore. Now, what is the meaning of the word dressing or concentration of the ore? It means nothing but I am trying to remove the impurity at an initial stage, or I can call it as initial purification. Yes or no, children? Okay. So, step number 1 is when I get those huge pieces of rock, I powder it into a fine powder. Step number 1, pulverization. What is step number 2? It is called as dressing of the ore. I am trying to purify the ore. Dressing of the ore or concentration of the ore. Remember, initially I am trying to remove whatever impurities I can. Okay, for example, you must have seen if in your house big sacks of rice come, your mother will try to initially purify it. Okay, she will remove that rice from the rice sack and she will try to remove the big stones. Clear? If there is moisture in the rice by any chance, if the rice has got wet, she will try to put it in the sun. She will try to dry it. So what is she trying to do here? She is trying to purify her rice, or she is doing initial purification of the rice. So what is step number 2, children? Dressing of the ore, or it is called as concentration of the ore. Now what is dressing or purification of the ore mean? Initial purification. Step number 3. I am trying to convert the ore into its oxide. For example, I gave you an example of zinc. The ore for zinc is in the form of zinc sulfide. So I will do step number 3. What is step number 3? I will try to convert my zinc sulfide into an oxide. So I am trying to convert ZnS into ZnO. What will happen when I convert it into an oxide? Why am I doing this step? Because oxygen is very, very easy to remove. Clear? So that is the reason, because I do not want my compound as zinc oxide. I am only interested in zinc. So I am attaching this zinc with an element which is very, very easy to remove. Clear? So I hope the 3 steps are clear to you. Step number 1 is pulverization. What does pulverization mean? I am powdering the ore into a thin powder. I am crushing the ore. Step number 2, I am trying to concentrate the ore. I am trying to remove as many impurities as I can. Okay? Or we also call this step as initial purification. Once I have initially purified it, I will try to convert the ore into its oxide. If it is in zinc carbonate, zinc sulfide, I will try to convert all these ores into zinc oxide. Why? Because as you know, oxygen is very, very easy to remove. Okay, it will take me very, very less effort. Oxygen can be removed very, very quickly. And when I remove my oxygen, I will get my zinc metal in my hand. Clear? Now, once you have applied oxygen element into it, what will be the next step? Step 4. I am reducing or reduction of the metallic oxide. As I told you, first I will add oxygen. Step 4. I am trying to remove oxygen from it. Clear? Now, removal of oxygen is nothing but, you know, it is called as reduction. So, what am I trying to do, children? First, I will add oxygen in step 3, and in step 4, I am trying to remove that oxygen. Clear? Step 5 is nothing but I am trying to purify the metal, whichever I have got. So, this electro-refining you have learnt in your electrolysis chapter. What is electro-refining? I am trying to make the metal as pure as possible. So, this is nothing but my final step for purification of the metal. Clear? So, we'll once again deal with all the 5 steps. What is step number 1, children? Step number 1, I am crushing the ore. I am making that big rock into small pieces. What is step number 2? I am trying to concentrate the ore. What is the meaning of the word concentration? I am trying to initially purify the ore. Clear? I am trying to remove as many impurities as I can. Step number 3, I am trying to convert it into its oxide. Okay? Now, please note, for example, if it is aluminium, the main ore of aluminium is Al2O3. It is already in its oxide form. So, in this case, I need not carry out step 3. Why? Because it is already in its oxide form. Okay? Then we do step number 4. What is step number 4? In step number 3, whatever oxygen I had added, I am now going to remove that oxygen. Removal of oxygen is nothing but, please look at the words that is written, reduction of metallic oxide. Now, what is reduction? I am trying to remove oxygen from the metallic oxide so that I get my metal back. And what is step number 5? You have already read this word. It's called as electro-refining. What is electro-refining? I am trying to make the metal as pure as possible. Okay. Now we are going to each of the step in detail. What was step number 1, children? We have already dealt with step number 1. It is called as crushing of the ore, or it is also called as pulverization. There is nothing much to remember in that slide. You just need to remember, with the help of huge rollers, you are crushing the ore, you are powdering the ore. Clear? Now the second most important step is called as concentration of the ore. What is the meaning of the word concentration? It is also called as initial purification of the ore, or it is also called as dressing of the ore. Clear? So what are the 3 words given to it? You can either call it as concentration of the ore, or you can call it as purification of the ore, or you can call it as dressing of the ore. But what are we trying to do here? We are trying to remove as many impurities as possible. Okay? So there are 4 methods that are involved in concentration of ore. First method is gravity-based separation. That means we are taking the help of density, or we are taking the help of weight here. Okay, difference in weight criteria is applied here. Second method of separation of the impurities is magnetic separation. Third one is froth flotation method, and the fourth method is called as leaching, or we call it as the chemical method. What are these methods? I'll explain one by one in detail. Okay. So for the time being, you just understand this much. What are the 4 ways by which you can initially purify the ore? You can concentrate the ore. Okay. Or you can dressing of the ore is done. First is gravity-based separation. That means with the help of difference in weight, we are trying to do it. Magnetic separation, one is magnetic, other one is non-magnetic. When I say one, I mean my ore is either magnetic and my impurity is non-magnetic. Third method is froth flotation method, and the last method is called as leaching, or it is called as a chemical method. Okay. So we will be discussing all these in detail. We'll be going ahead with one by one of these methods. The first method was gravity separation method. Okay. Now this gravity separation method, there's one other term that is used here. It is also called as hydrolytic method. What is the meaning of the word hydro, children? Hydro means nothing but water. So we are trying to pass water through it, and we are trying to separate the ore, which is having my metal, and the impurity as much as possible. Clear? So what is the first method, children? We call it as the hydrolytic method. Hydro means water, or it is also called as a gravity separation method. Clear? So in this, as you can see in this diagram, can you see I have taken a slanting slope here? Okay? Or in other words, I have taken inclined plane. Can you see? There's an inclined plane that is there here. And from this funnel, I am adding 2 things. I am adding my crushed ore, which is also having my impurity inside it. Clear? So in this, I am taking a slanting slope, and from a funnel, I am adding my crushed ore as well as impurity. Okay, now what is the name of this method, children? It is called as gravity separation. What's the meaning of the word gravity separation? Say my ore is heavier, or can I use the word it is denser? Okay, and I have taken my impurity, which is way lighter, or it is less denser. There is not much weight onto it. Okay. So for which type of ores can this method be applicable? Hydrolytic method can be carried out only when either my ores should be heavy or my impurity should be lighter, or vice versa. Clear? So I am telling here my ore is heavy and my impurity is way lighter. Okay, only when there is, or in other words, I say there should be a difference in weights. Okay, there should be a difference in densities. Only then can I carry out this method. Okay. So I have a slanting slope. I have an inclined plane, but it's not a plain inclined plane. Okay. It has got certain grooves like this in between. Okay. It has got certain holes in between. We call them as grooves. Okay. It's not a straight slanting line. It has got certain grooves inside it. It has got certain it is irregular and it has got various holes inside it. So I am passing my ore and my impurity through it, and over that I am passing a jet of water. Okay, with great force I am passing water over the slope. Okay, slowly what is going to happen, children? The lighter one here, which is the lighter one? The impurity, which is lighter, will travel through the water, and this impurity, this matrix, this gang is going to come and settle down with the water. Okay. Now, which was heavier, children? My ore was definitely heavier. It will go and settle down in these grooves. So, as the water is passing through, it will carry the ore as well as the impurity with it. Okay. And we know the ore is heavier. So, whatever is heavier will be collected in the grooves. Clear? So, as you can see here, the ore is collected in the grooves. Now, why is it collected in the grooves? We know it is heavier. Okay. Now, lighter things, the lighter impurity, my impurity will go along with the water because it is very, very lighter. It will not stay in the groove. It will move along with the water and it will fall into the container where my impurity is collected in this flask. My ore is collected in the holes, or it is collected in the grooves here. Okay. So what are the two words, children? We either call it as hydrolytic method or we call it as gravity separation method. When can we do this method, children? When the ore is heavier and the gang or the impurity is lighter. Okay. So we are passing a jet of water. Along with the jet of water, my crushed ore will also start moving. Okay. My impurity also will start moving. The lighter impurity will move along with the water. Can you see here? The lighter impurity is moving along with water and it will be collected in the container down. Okay. Whereas my ore, which is there, it will be collected in the grooves. Can you see this kind of holes here? Okay. My heavier ore particles. Okay. My ore was heavier. So my heavy ore particles will settle down at the bottom. Okay. So what was the first method, children, we have done? The first method that we had done was called as hydrolytic method, or it is called as gravity separation method. The second method is called as magnetic separation. The second method by which you can initially purify the ore, by which you can remove the impurity and by which you can remove the ore is called as magnetic separation. Yes, of course, when can I do this method? I have two things. My ore should be magnetic, yes or no? And of course, my impurity or the matrix or the gang, okay, should be non-magnetic. Only then can I carry out this method. Especially if they ask in the exam, what is the way of concentrating iron ore? Okay. All iron ores are purified. Initial purification, dressing of the ore is done by this magnetic separation. When can we carry out this method? My ore should be magnetic and my impurity should be non-magnetic. Clear? Now, this is the setup that you can see while we do magnetic separation. Okay. There are two wheels here. Okay. Amongst this, can you see the wheel here? This is a magnetic wheel. Okay. This wheel which I am showing you is a magnetic wheel. And here, this, can you see here, a moving belt is written here. Moving belt. It is nothing but a conveyor belt. We call it as a conveyor belt. It's the same belt that you see in your airports and all. Okay, so you have two wheels. Amongst the two wheel, one is a magnetic wheel. Okay, and just in the diagram you can see a very, very small wheel. Actually in real life the wheels are very, very big. So out of the two wheel, one wheel is magnetic, and then you are passing a moving belt or a conveyor belt over it. And here from the funnel, I am adding the powdered ore which is having my impurity. Clear? So I have my iron ore. What is the speciality with my iron ore? It is magnetic. And my impurity here, which you can see as a brown color powder, is non-magnetic. Okay. Now please look here very, very carefully when I am drawing the diagram. Okay. So here the ore and the impurity are passing. They are passing. The moment they come in contact with the wheel, the moment they come in contact with this wheel here, okay, what will happen to the ore, which is magnetic? The ore is magnetic. It will stick to the wheel, it will stick to the wheel, it will stick to the wheel, it is sticking, it is still sticking, it is still sticking. When it comes here, can you see this point? It loses contact with the wheel. So the magnetic thing is gone. So all my ore particles will start falling into this container. Did you understand this, children? I'm once again telling, my ore and my impurity is coming here. Yes, it is sticking, it is coming. Till here there was no difference, but the moment it came to the magnetic wheel, when it came to the magnetic wheel, it stuck to the wheel. Okay, the magnetic ore stuck to the wheel. It is still stuck, it is still stuck. When it comes here, it is losing contact with the wheel. Okay, now it is no longer attached to the wheel. So what has started happening here, children? My ore particles have started, my magnetic ore has started falling down here. Okay, now let's see what happens to the non-magnetic particles. Okay, my non-magnetic particles are my impurity. Is my impurity. It won't stick onto the wheel. Why? Because it is not attracted by the magnet. So see these brown color powder, the moment it comes in contact with the wheel, it is not sticking to the wheel at all. Okay, why? Because it is non-magnetic. So what will happen? My impurity will come and fall here, and my ore will be collected, will be falling at a separate place. Now here you will be seeing that the difference is very, very less. But in actual life, this is not how it happens. These are very, very huge wheels. So one will be collected at one end. Clear? The non-magnetic ore will be collected at one end and the magnetic ore will be collected at the other end. I hope this method is clear to you. Okay. Now this is the most important method. What is the third way of concentrating the ore? We have already dealt with two methods of concentration of the ore. What is the other word for concentration of the ore? We also call it as the dressing of the ore. The first method is called as hydrolytic method, or it is also called as gravity separation method. Second was magnetic separation method, where the ore is magnetic and the gangue or the impurity or the matrix is non-magnetic. Clear? Now the next word is froth flotation method. Now what is the meaning of the word froth, children? It is nothing but the ability to form bubbles here. Froth means nothing but bubbles. Okay. Now please remember this. This method of separation can only be carried out for which type of ores, children? It is only and only carried out for sulfide ores. A very, very important question. It is sometimes asked in the board question paper. Which method is used for concentration of sulfide ores? The moment you hear it's a sulfide ore, we always carry out only one method, and that is called as froth flotation process. Okay. So point number one that you have to remember is froth flotation method is only and only done for sulfide ores. Clear? Now the question is, when can we do this method? My ore should be, please look at the words that I am writing. This is not mentioned in most of your books. Clear? My ore should be hydrophobic. Okay. Hydro means water. Phobic means whenever we say we have a phobia of a certain thing. Phobia means fear. Okay, so my ore should be hydrophobic and my impurity should be hydrophilic. Did you understand the second point here, children? One thing, it can be carried out only for sulfidose. The second thing that you have to remember is froth flotation method can be done only when my ore is hydrophobic. What is the meaning of the word hydrophobic? It should fear water. That means the ore will not go near water at all. Whereas my impurity is hydrophilic. What is the meaning of the word hydro? Hydro is water, philic is love. So my impurity loves water, whereas my ore hates water, it fears water. Okay, so this is the key thing that you have to remember here. Okay, we can do froth flotation only when the ore is hydrophobic. It should not go near water, it should not mix with water, whereas my impurity is hydrophilic. Philic means it should love, it should be attached to water. Okay, so here I am taking a container and I am putting water plus I am putting pine oil. What are the two things I am putting here, children? I have taken water in this container, okay, and I am putting pine oil inside it, okay, and then can you see this apparatus here? It's called as an agitator. What is an agitator? Agitator means it will revolve like this. It will be revolving at a very, very high speed. For example, you must have seen your mother making buttermilk at home. Have you seen the apparatus which she uses when she agitates the milk that she has? Okay, in order to make the buttermilk. So whenever she does that at a very, very high speed, whenever she mixes it, whenever she agitates it, are you able to see bubble formation like this on the buttermilk? Okay, so this is the same thing that is happening here. But the only difference here is that we are using water and a pine oil combination. Clear? So I have taken water, I have taken pine oil. Usually they don't mix. So I am trying to pass air through it. I am passing air supply through it and I am trying to agitate the mixture. I am trying to revolve this. I am trying to mix this at a very, very high speed. Whenever I try to do this, because oil is lighter, have you seen your mother boiling milk? Okay, milk is nothing but a colloidal mixture. Okay, no need to go in detail of this. Just understand this much, that whenever your mother boils milk, she will get the cream. Now what is cream? Cream is nothing but fat. It is nothing but oil. It comes on the top. Now why does it come on the top? Because it is lighter in weight. Okay, so the oil will come on the top and my water or milk will come at the bottom. The same thing happens here. Okay, so what are the two things I have added here, children? I have added water plus I have added pine oil. Okay, all this is not important. You just have to remember one thing is hydrophilic. Which is hydrophilic? My impurity is hydrophilic and my ore is hydrophobic. Yes or no, children? Okay, so for this hydrophilic hydrophobic thing, I have taken water and pine oil. I have started rotating it. I have started agitating it. I have started mixing the two solutions, the two things at a very, very high speed. Now, which one will come on the top, children? We know pine oil or any oil is lighter. Okay, so my oil has started coming out in the form of a froth. It has started coming out in the form of a bubble. Okay, and my water will be at the bottom. Okay, now come here. How does it help in separating the ore and the impurity? I just now told you my ore is hydrophobic. So will it go and mix with water? Okay, will my ore which is hydrophobic go and mix with water? No, it cannot go. Why it can't go? Because it fears water. It fears water. It fears H2O. So where will it go and combine? It will go and combine with the oil. Clear? My ore will go and combine with the oil. So where will I get my ore, children? My ore will be there in this froth. My ore will be there in this bubble, okay, which is there at the top. Of course, the froth is lighter in weight. With the oil, it will remain on the top. Okay, now along with the oil, what do I have? I have my ore. Okay, so I can easily collect the ore with the froth. Okay, I can just take a container, I can just pass it through a container where along with the froth, my ore is also getting collected. Okay, then I can just do the process of the remaining steps to get my metal. Okay, what has happened to the impurity? I just now told you how is my impurity. My impurity is hydrophilic. What is the meaning of the word hydrophilic? Hydro means water, philic means love. So it loves water. So where will my impurity go and settle? My impurity will go and mix with water. Okay. There is a tap here. If you open the tap, all the water that is there along with the impurity can be collected. So have I separated my impurity which has come down with water and ore that has come down with the froth. I am once again explaining this step, children. Please understand it very, very carefully. Okay, let us use a different diagram to understand it this time. We can do froth flotation process only for which type of ores, children? We use it only for sulfide ores. Okay, this is the key word you have to remember here. Okay, when can we do this method? We can do this method only when our gang or impurity is hydrophilic. That means it loves water. Okay, I am explaining it in this much detail because it's an important step that can come in most of your board questions. Clear? So my impurity is hydrophilic. Philic means love. So where will it go and mix? It will go and mix with the water. So water plus impurity will be collected here. And my ore is hydrophobic. What is the meaning of the word hydrophobic? It fears water. It does not like water. So it does not go near water. Okay. So I have taken, can you see here, water containing pine oil. Okay. Water and pine oil mixture. I am passing air through it and I am agitating the mixture. What's the meaning of the word agitating? I am mixing it very, very thoroughly. Now oil which is lighter will be coming in the top layer as froth. Okay, because of the high speed shaking, I will get the oil in the form of a froth, in the form of a bubble. But is there oil alone? No. My oil is having my ore. That is the sulfide ore. So here from the top layer, I can just remove this oil. I will be getting my ore also. If I just remove the froth will be containing oil plus it will be containing my ore which can be removed. Okay. Whereas my impurity is hydrophilic. So what is the meaning of the word hydrophilic? It is going and mixing with water. So I have separated my impurity which is in water and I have got my ore which was there in the froth. Okay, so in this way I have removed both my impurity as well as my ore. Clear? This is all that I have explained it just now. What is the last method, children? The last method of concentration of the ore is called as chemical method or it is called as leaching. What is the last method, children? It is called as chemical method. Now from the word itself, what is the meaning of the word chemical method? Chemical method means we are trying to remove the ore and the impurity. We are trying to separate the ore, the matrix or the gang by the use of a chemical. It can be any chemical, but please remember one of the most important chemical is this NaOH. What is NaOH? It is called as sodium hydroxide. The common name of it is caustic soda. Okay. So chemical method, we will be learning it in a little detail because in metallurgy, we have only one metal to be extracted, that is aluminium. And there we will be using this method. Which method? And why is this method used, children? To do initial purification of the ore. Clear? So the last method for concentration of the ore is chemical method, or it is also called as leaching. What's the meaning of the word chemical method? As mentioned, we are adding a chemical. Nothing much to be done, just add a chemical. Your ore will be separated, your impurity, your gangue will get separated. Clear? And one of the chemical that you have to remember is, example is NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, or we also call it as caustic soda. Clear, children? So this was all about concentration of the ore. Okay, so we are done with step 1, that is crushing of the ore. What is the other word for crushing of the ore? We call it as pulverization. Then we had dealt with the second step in detail. What is second step? It is dressing of the ore, or it is called as concentration of the ore. What is the meaning of the word dressing of the ore or concentration of the ore? It means we are trying to purify the ore as much as possible. It is not 100% purified, but as many impurities as we can remove. We have tried to remove it. What are the 4 methods of concentration of the ore or dressing of the ore? Gravity-based separation, also called as hydrolytic method. Second method is magnetic separation. Third method is froth flotation method. And the fourth method, either we can call it as the chemical method or we can call it as leaching. Okay, so please remember these 4 methods for concentration of the ore. I hope you have understood metallurgy chapter till here. Please do stay tuned for my next video, which will be coming out very soon. Please do like, subscribe, share, and also put your valuable comments, children. Please keep learning, please keep revising, and please don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks a lot.